Page 29, From a Hotel Window. Here they're introducing a new note for you for the bass clef, and that is the low, low F. It is underneath the bottom line in the staff. You see it there at the beginning of the F. Here on the piano, you got middle C, then a lower C, and then the F is under that. Here. Now it's up to you to just know that note from now on. So let's look at this window thing. It's about a page and a half long because it's on pages 29 and 30. Treble and bass clef, one flat in the key signature. It's in the key of F major. So now it's time to go do my scale on F major. Learn it one octave up and down and make sure you do the trill exercise. It's really important. And then 4/4 time signature. So let's take it one hand at a time and make sure we got the fingering and all worked out for each hand. You're starting out in the right hand here. Actually, I see a C there in the second measure, so I think I'm here. I'll find out when I get there, but I think I'm here. And it's 1 and 2 and 3 and then here. And that's tied, so you can hold that down for 8 counts. You're just going to love it. And second line's the same. Then on page 30, you're down here. 1 and 2. I'm still in this position, but I'm going to be coming back and forth, I think. 1 and 2 and 3 and. See, it's here and here. I moved here. And then come back down. That's about it. That's about what the right hand is doing throughout the piece. Now the left hand, when you're starting here, third finger they want, that puts you here. I see a C coming up in the next measure, so it looks like we're going to be coming here. We're going to be moving around a little bit. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and. Come down. And then scrunch up thumb and reach down. Don't collapse here. Stay here because in the next line I need that F again, so I'm going to stay stretched out. Second line. I'm going to play the first one with the thumb, and then I'm going to go to 3. I'm going to use the repeated note to change hand positions, because I could come up here, but I'd rather not. So I'm going to go here, collapse, and then 3. So into the first line, and then second line. Here. Page 30, they want you here. The problem is, on page 29 at the end, you were down here. That's your last note. So on page 30, the first C, I'm going to go with 2, just reach up a little bit, and then 5. Again, I'm going to use the repeated note to change hand position. So I don't come from here to here. I'd rather not. I could, but I'd rather not. So I'm going to go 2, 5. Reach up. Now they want 4th finger. You don't have to. You can stay right there and use 5th finger again. Because you want thumb here. And by using 4th finger, it puts you in position, but I can just leave out a finger. I can just, anywhere in there, so, and then reach down. No. Different ways of doing it. You decide how you want to finger it. If you want to use 4th finger there, that's fine. Then here. And then going on the next line, again, 2 for the first one, and then 5. I'm going to change on the repeated note. I don't want to do that. Could, but I don't want to. Reach up 3rd finger. This is second line, second measure. And then here. Now here, on the 3rd measure, they want here. That's a little awkward. So I'm going to go in the 3rd measure. It's going to be a 2 and then a 1. Again, it's a repeated note. I can change position here. Now I'll come down with thumb. This is similar like what you get in the scale videos. If you're doing the B flat major scale, you got this there. This crossing over the thumb. We have to be able to do this eventually. So don't twist around and try any crazy stuff. Just relax. The thumb will move quite a bit if you'll just relax. And over time, you can get to where it moves even more. Relax. So what I want to do is I want it here, and then the thumb, you can twist a little bit, but the thumb will come and relax, it'll reach. Most people here takes a little time. May not reach at first, but keep at it, it'll come. And here. Then going to the 3rd line, I want you up here again. Well, you can do that. You're moving the hand from here to here. Or I can, again, the repeated notes in the third line. I can use thumb on the first one. I'm not moving as far. And then 3. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Into the second line, I'm here and just use thumb. And then 3. Put the hands together, and you think, what could possibly go wrong? I don't know. Third finger. And here. So I'm holding the right hand down as tied. That helps. Then going on is here, third finger again, here. And it's 1, 3. That first note is a little different. Yeah. Now on page 30, when I get there, the first one's 2 and then 5. Reach up, third finger, and then going on. You put the hands together and then go back through the tricky spots and get rid of the hesitations. Go over them until you can play them smoothly, evenly. You don't have to go fast. Take it slow, but a nice smooth beat. And we can think about the articulation. They put in phrasing for us here. Lift up. That's all right. Lift up. Lift up. So just lift up like taking a breath. And then the dynamics. Well, here it's kind of going back and forth. It's almost like a duet. And in that case, you can play both hands about the same. See? Somebody is singing that note and holding it out. Somebody else is singing these notes and the words at the same time. That's how I'm interpreting it. There's different ways of interpreting it, but that's how I'm doing it. And forte is loud. So whatever you think loud is. Then when you get to page 30 at the top, you come down a little bit to mezzo forte, which is sort of loud. Again, I'm going to make it both hands. I think it's more like a duet. Now here, I might bring that down a little bit. I think the melody. And the third line down on page 3, you go back up to loud. There's not a lot of difference between loud and sort of loud. There's a little bit of difference there, but you're on the loud side of this throughout this piece. As far as speed goes, moderato somewhere in the middle. Not fast or slow. I mean, fast would be... That would be fast. Slow would be... That's slow. Well, moderato is somewhere in the middle. There's not an exact, it's a range, it's a feel, it's sort of in the middle. I don't know. Then the interpreting it, well, start with the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel these. I exaggerate them so you can hear them better, but you really just want to feel them. And the rest of the interpretation, for the most part, they've given you for the phrasing and the dynamics and all. But get into the music, and it's like you don't have to play the first 2 lines all at loud. If you feel it getting a little louder or softer, you're on the loud area, but it doesn't have to be exactly that level. Get into it and feel it. At the end of this, bottom page 30, if you feel a little ritardando in there, Go for it. Doesn't say anything. You feel like slowing down, slow down. Whatever. If you don't feel like it, don't. Now we have to deal with this page turn. So what are our options? Well, first off, you memorize it. That's the best. Otherwise, you memorize maybe one page or the other, whichever. That's fixed. Otherwise, you get somebody to turn the page for you. Can't do that. You have to do it yourself. Well, now we want to figure out, is one hand resting anywhere where I can turn the page while it's resting? And the answer to that is no, there isn't. Actually, on page 29, it's only 2 lines long. Maybe you could memorize it because the 2 lines are the same. Both lines on page 29 are the same. So if you could just memorize those 4 measures, you don't have to deal with the page turn. You just start on page 30 and go. Another way of doing it is there any music on page 30 that is the same as page 29? Is it identical? And if we look at the last 2 lines on page 30 and compare them, we find out they're identical to page 29. The words are different, but I'm not dealing with the words here. I'm dealing with the notes. The notes are the same. So what I can do is not bother with the page turn. I'll just turn to page 30 and leave it there. And I'll play the bottom 2 lines first and then go back up and play the whole page. That's the same music. Now if I'm singing it, I can't do that. I gotta get the words. Well, it's up to you on how you want to do it with the words. But that, as far as playing the piano, that's what I suggest. We just turn it to page 30 and leave it there. And then play the bottom 2 lines first because they're the same as what's on page 29. And then we play the whole page 30. And we don't have to deal with a page turn. Let's play this together very slowly. And actually on this, normally when I play with me with a page turn, I do the 1 page and then we stop and we turn the page and then we go on. But in this case, I'd like you to practice what I just suggested with the page turn. So I'm going to only do page 30. That's all we're going to do. But I'm going to do the bottom 2 lines first. And then go back up to the top and do the whole page. So it's actually 6 lines long, but I'm doing the bottom 2 lines first and then going up. Let's do that in the play with me. That way we can play the whole thing through without bothering with a page turn. So I'll give us 4 counts. I'm not doing any dynamics here. I'm just playing the notes and the rhythms. That's all this is for. 1, 2, ready, go. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Now go to the top of the page. 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, off.